what goes on, how we living. Someone talk to me. Like the stream. We got Shinigami in the chat. What's good, Shinigami? I will keep writing this just in case. I am here first, gang. I will keep writing this just in case. We got Kino. We got Kino in the chat. What's good, Kino? Sorry to hear about your whole Discord thing. That is actually crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on with these scammers. You know, real quick story for myself before we get into this. It's also scammer related, right? So, for my wife's, not bridal party. Was it the bridal party? For my wife's party, right? We were given a lot of cash and gift cards to use as gifts and stuff like that, of course, right? And so, guess what happened? And Tay, I'm glad you're here. Listen to this, Tay. Guess what happened, bro? So, I peel off the thing for the gift card, right? And I go to the website it tells me to go to. And I start entering the numbers for the gift card. Tell me why. When I tried to use the sucker, this was like, a couple weeks after I had tried to verify it and register it online. A couple weeks after using that sucker, a couple weeks after not using it, I tried to use it for to buy something on Amazon. And the transaction came back as not going through, declined, and all this other weird stuff. I'm like, hey, yo, what's going on here? We got $100 on this card. It can't be declined. No one's used it. I got it. It's in my possession. What are we talking about? Come to find out, I call the card services department, and guy named Chris broke everything down to me. He's like, yeah. So what happened, Mr. Mitchell, was when you scratched off those numbers and went to the website, it was spoofed. Yeah. It was spoofed, right? Now, oh, hold up. Okay. Yeah. Now, in layman's terms, what happened to me, and I know there's an actual more direct word for what happened. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But what actually happened was these guys had created another domain name for the website, similar to the one that the card was, associated with. Because I think it was a vanilla gift card or whatever like that. So these hooligans created another website just like how it would present on the card. And I didn't even consider this when I first, activated the card. Like a lot of different links popped up when I typed in the card address. I was like, okay, it's probably the first one. It's usually the first one. So I just clicked on the first one. I wasn't even thinking. So I clicked on the first one. I entered the card details. Bam. Stole all my shit. Well, I mean, not stole, but what he ended up saying happened was they caught the transaction, or they caught the moment that he entered the numbers and tried to use the card. They caught that immediately. Blocked it. Card access denied, not happening. We got it. Right? So shout out to them for being on their stuff as far as security purposes and protecting their customers. Because what he told me was like, yeah, when you entered those numbers on, they saw exactly what you typed and they took all that shit down and tried to use that card before you could. I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Because I'm like, bro, I had the card on me the whole time. No one could have stole it from me. No one could have snatched it from me. No one could have finessed it off me. I had it the whole time. So he's like, yeah, they've been doing this a lot. But luckily our systems are good. He's like, they're good, but our systems are better. I was like, all right, I'm with you guys. Okay, what are we doing here? How do I find him? I'm Liam Neeson. You will pay. What did Liam Neeson say to that guy? No. What did the guy say to Liam Neeson? Drakkar Noir. Good luck. Right? Yeah, taken. So, thankfully, he told me they'd be sending a new card with my name on it this time. And that I won't be held responsible for anything as far as what happened with the last card. So that's cool. But yeah, no. These scammers been on one, bruh. It's just been crazy. Man in the middle. Yes, Tay. Man in the middle attack. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is. Yeah, man in the middle attack. Although, but there's a specific one for when you create a. Is it water holing? When you create a similar domain and then just kind of wait. Or I feel like that might be for like employees and stuff like that. Water holing. Excuse me. But yeah, just thought I'd share that story because my boy Kino is going through some BS right now because his Discord is hacked. Him and the hacker both have, not availability. Him and the hacker both have access to the account, so that's strange, but it is what it is. Okay, let me catch up on chat, then we're going to get into this. Call me Sonic the Hedgehog for real or the Flash. It's time. Actually, I was the first 20 minutes ago in the first like I just left. Shout out to Kai. We got Kai in the chat. It's time, gang. But I was the first to comment, so GG says Shinigami. So I have tangible proof of being the first only because I allowed it. I'm Kai. Kino says, yo. Kai says, sup. Shinigami says, that's dope. Shinigami says, fucking ads. Tay says, wow, wow, wow. How is that stuff? They hopped off my account now. That's dope. Well, that sucks. Damn, that's crazy. That's like the man in the middle of, yo. Lightspeed says, yo, bro. Well, holy shit, the man sucks. Hope nothing bad happens. Yeah, people used to do similar things when they not rapping. The other gift cards back in the day. I got things to share, but just saw my drawings. Oh shit, really? But why did Kino DMs? When is the last time you heard a streamer rap what the chat is saying? And it was kind of nice. And it kind of flowed. It was kind of fire. All right. We got Max in the building. What's good, Max? Shinigami says ads. Yes, we're going to have to deal with the ads. We're going to have to deal with the ads. Oh, I have news, though, too, guys. I have news. I don't know why Kino DM'd you. It might have been the scammer. So just like I said, don't ask for any money or whatever. Holy fuck, rap pro raps, facts. I have news. So this is a little bit of housekeeping items before we get started. Let's see. Firstly, we're going to get on a streaming schedule. Hopefully starting next week. There's no reason I can't start next week, so next week is the goal for this. Let me pull it up, actually. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh, wait. Would it be in here? No. I think it's in my downloads. Give me 1 second, beautiful people. Let me just find this, my downloads. Okay. It shouldn't be that hard to find. Show downloads. Okay. Okay. Not that downloads. Hide downloads. Bookmarks, develop. Okay. I feel like technology always picks the most annoying times to embarrass me. It really does. I'm literally failing to pull up my downloads. What is going on? All right, can I just go to my downloads, please? Oh, wait, it should be go. God dang, why did that take so long, bro? Okay, let me see if I can find it. Where's it at? All right, you know what? I might not have downloaded it. That might be it. I might not have downloaded it. Let me go over here real quick. No, not this. Budget. Yes, here we go. Okay, so I didn't download it. Let's go here real quickly. Okay, let's download that now. Cool. And open. Cool. Okay. Feel free to screenshot this, write this down, hold me to it, because this is what I plan on doing. This may get amended, though, depending on how things go, right? So Mondays will be YouTube Live from 7 to 8, right? So I'm going to increase the frequency while decreasing the actual duration. You know, these lives usually go anywhere from maybe 1 to 3 hours they can go. But I'm going to be going live more frequently, so that means less time. So Mondays, YouTube Live, 7 to 8. Doesn't mean it has to be anything crazy. Might not even talk about nothing specific. I'm just going to go live so I can continue the streak. Tuesdays, you can find me on TikTok. I was supposed to be building a TikTok platform last year. It didn't go so well. TikTok is a very interesting platform as far as like gaining traction goes. All my videos do somewhat decent I say, because it really depends on how much effort I put into them. But as far as like hosting lives and stuff like that, unless you're know someone else, or kind of just like be around, your TikTok lives don't really take off like that, unless like you also have an interesting take. It really just depends. But Tuesdays, you can find me on TikTok live from 6:30 to 7:30. Wednesday is optional. Wednesday is optional. In fact, you know what? I might change Wednesday with Thursday. I think Thursday might be another YouTube live night, and I think Wednesday might be another YouTube live night, and Thursday might be optional. But either way, one of those days is going to be a gym day. Okay, so you won't see me one of these days for sure. Friday, we will be dual streaming TikTok and Twitch. Why both of those? Number one, because I'm not paying for Restream, and Restream only lets you choose 2 platforms to stream from, and I'm not paying for a third one until like I get bigger or whatever like that. That's not happening. Yeah. But yeah, so Friday is going to be more of a, like, I want to be like more chill streams, just chat and just talk and whatnot, you know, not going too hard, not going too crazy. Saturdays, we back at it. Long form content, baby. We're talking 2 to 4 hour streams, unless I'm busy. And I should be posting in the community tab if I am ever that busy. So there's that too. And optionally, I can multi-stream to Twitch. I'll probably multi-stream to Twitch Saturdays as well, because I want to build my community on Twitch as well. In fact, guys, Twitch might become the default streaming platform. It really depends, though. Like, I might actually do the streams on Twitch and then upload them to YouTube. I don't know yet. We'll see. Sunday is optional. I'm not gonna lie. Sunday is kind of optional too. I'll be busy Sunday. But yeah, that's the weekly streaming schedule. I might post this, or like post a draft of this on the whatchamacallit. But yeah, there you go. Cool. Now, I saw a question in here. Give me 1 second. The hacker masked DM tons of people with the same automated text Shinigami. Yeah. People used to do these things when they not rapping. What's that old DVD, Meek Mill disc, reading Block Captain? I think so. That's fire. Got to be careful with Discord. Don't be sharing personal info on there. Also, especially with them trying to make it to where you have to put into personal. Yeah, just use internet. Yeah, that's crazy. I got more drawings done, and I got more power scaling and intelligence stuff done. Nice. Good for you, bro. But I introduced a ranking system. Good. Schedule, that would be a help a lot. Oh, I know, for you, Shinigami. Shinigami is always asking when I'm going live, so a schedule is definitely going to help him. I'm starting to find out there's a lot of Dragon Ball scalers who are blatant liars. There's a lot of power scalers who are blatant liars. Kai says, Kino, oh, you late to the game on that. I peeped this back the other day. I have the verse at 45D, 4 to 5D, but when Dragon Ball scalars highball with side material that contradicts itself is when I have problem, because when I started to dive into the Daism shoes, the data books they use, I don't know what that word is, Kino. Tay sent $5. Shout out to the dono. Thank you, Tay. Appreciate you. Peace to the Saints. Ab-stract. Who would win in a fight? Genin Ichimaru versus Dolphy. Genin Ichimaru versus Dolph Lamingo. I probably got Genin, Tay. But I think you know that. So I don't know why you asked. Thank you for the money, but I don't know why you asked that. You know who's gonna win that. Stop playing games, man. I got Genin. Yeah, because if Dolphy gets pierced, the fight's kind of over, right? If he gets pierced, then Genin leaves a piece of that blade in him. The fight's kind of over. We agree on that, don't we? Hey, we got Karibo in the chat. What's good, Karibo? Ab-stract, have you been watching Core 4 if that's in Bloodborne since it's out now? No, I have not, Kai. That's what I wanted to say, too. So, this Saturday, we're going to be watching Core 4 episodes 1 through 3. Well, I'm going to be watching it on Twitch. I hope you guys join me. What I'll do, I can't dual stream now. I cannot dual stream. So you won't see no notification on YouTube. I'm going to be on Twitch Saturday watching the first 3 episodes, because I haven't watched any of the Bleach episodes since they've came out, because I really wanted to start on episode 4 since I've seen the movie. But I figured to get my Twitch presence up, we can watch the first 3 episodes. So I'm going to be watching those on Twitch. Pull up, join me, probably around like 11 o'clock, something like that. Maybe 12. We'll see. I found out that they were mistranslating statements and using the first 12 pages, which are flowery language, to dramatize the vast world of Dragon Ball. Yeah. It's a lot different when you look into a series yourself versus hearing things from the people of that community. They'll often lie, exaggerate, omit information, and just use bad scaling practices. So it's always best to look into things. This is exactly why I'm going to be taking, and let me preface my statement. I'm not saying my good friend Ignil does this, right? But this is why I'm going to be looking into 7 Deadly Sins myself. Because even when we have our discussions, there's only so much that I can either give, take, or push back on from what I know and understand of the series, right? I'm really at his, not mercy per se, but I'm up. It's up to his interpretation for how I argue things that happen in the series. He can do his best to show me scans and panels and stuff like that, but unless I know the full context of some of these situations, it's not going to bore out as well as if I know those situations. So yeah. Some chatting before drawing. Get easily, dude. I will hold you accountable 100%. I got TikTok downloadable, but not Twitch. Okay. Get Twitch. No one uses Twitch? Come on, guys. Get on Twitch. But I got TikTok. I already followed him there. Okay. People are still trying to use Candace's lightning speed. One thought the speed was impressive as a debunk, and Gin's Mach 500 statement as a debunk. Yeah. Candace's lightning speed thing, I don't even know why people go to that thing, honestly. It's not a manga thing. It comes directly from the novels, and it's Candace when she lost her powers in base. Like, what are we talking about? You just encourage lots of personal development. Oh, wait. Dude, listen. I like hearing you talk as I draw or write. Oh, I appreciate that, Shinigami. Thank you, bro. Okay, Daisen shoes are the Dragon Ball data books. Okay, Akira Toriyama and his editor team worked on. Gotcha. There's a total of 10, but only like 4 are usable for manga and stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yo, we got Luna Ursa in the chat. What's up? We got Nick in the chat. Madara is my favorite Marvel character. Madara is my favorite Marvel character. Nick is hilarious. What's good, Nick? It's been a while since we've seen you, sir. You're late to class, back of the class. Don't do it again. What's your Twitch, Ab-stract? Okay, so the Twitch, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be streaming 2 times a week. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Thursday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm good friends. Don't mind me watching some Jinxie. I do like Rainbow Six Siege. The Twitch is actually in my bio. If you go to my bio, you click on that, you can follow me on Twitch. We will be watching Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War, first 3 episodes. I will be reacting and reviewing to them live, and it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So yeah, new year. Well, not new year technically. We've been in this year for about 5 to 6 months now. So not new year technically, but trying to get on a schedule, trying to be active on more platforms, grow the channel, grow, followership, all that other good stuff. But yeah, just go to the channel, check the profile. My TikTok is there, my Twitter, and my Twitch. Okay. They heavily omit by cropping out guidebook pages. TikTok is tiring. Freaking tech is a pain to argue with. He's like a patient in a hospital who insists he is fine. Yeah, no. Tech is a special breed of Naruto scaler. He's almost as bad as Karibo. That is heckin' nice. Okay. Cool, I caught up. So, also, I may or may not be having a debate with somebody, a human, a person, but maybe a bot. Really depends on how they come. May or may not be having a debate, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how this started and where it's going for me, and kind of take you through my process of if I were to actually get into a quote unquote debate. Okay, where we at? So Rexor tags me in this. Let me see. I can't see where he tags me, but just in belief he tags me. This is a thread done by Paul Carnap, aka Flints. If you guys don't know Flints, I know Flints. We've talked before. I didn't know this was Flints before I started engaging with him. I might have engaged him differently if I knew it was him, because depending on who you are in this community, you get treated with a certain type of respect or rapport from me, right? That's not to say that I'm disrespectful to anyone or everyone, but certain people don't get my grace, so to speak. If I don't know you, if you're just yapping to yap, I'm going to kind of be straightforward and direct. I'm not really going to be too charitable for a lot of things. You got to kind of earn your spot. You got to, show your worth in here, to me at least. So it says Flints now, but if you were to go back when this happened, maybe 4 to 5 days ago, no, was it a week? I don't remember how long it's been. If you were to go back though, his profile did not say Flints, right? So keep that in mind, because it's also important to the YouTube. It's also important, not to the YouTube, to the Discord conversation, because I was like, oh shit, it's Flints. Anyways, it's a thread on do ninjas scale to their jutsu. We're gonna go over it in a minute. Just kind of wanted to show you guys how exactly we got here. Okay, so I comment on this. I say they don't, and when we finally do my presentation, we'll see bar for bar why it isn't the case. Remember, the question is, do ninjas scale to their ninjutsu? My answer is they don't. And when we finally do my presentation, which is coming along very nicely, I'm in this stages where we're finally just making sure everything lines up, making sure everything's grammarly correct and all this other things. They don't. And when we finally do my bar for bar presentation we'll see why it isn't the case that they do. Okay. So I say that. He says, if you comment under my shit again without an argument, I'm blocking you and removing your comment. Now, as you just saw, I am currently blocked. Why can't you reply to this? Well, this author has blocked you, so you can't perform this action. So yeah, he did end up blocking me. Now let's see, does it actually have what I said though? Because I was being pretty funny with this. Okay. It doesn't have my comments. Okay, interesting. It doesn't have my comments, but what I essentially said. Okay, let me see if it has it here. Okay, yeah. Let me go here real quick. That's weird. So I can't click on anything that's been blocked. That's crazy. It's all disconnected. Okay, cool. He says, also, your videos are dog shit to me. So I respond with, I know the videos I make hurt your feelings. You don't have to watch them, right? Here's the thing. When you're talking to somebody, if they're coming at you with insults, don't ever insult them back. You don't need to. You don't need to. You don't need to stoop to their level. You don't got to play their game. Be above it. You want to say my videos are dog shit and I can't scale? Fine. Listen, I know my videos hurt your feelings. You don't have to watch them. A lot of these guys are insecure. That's the main problem with any Twitter. A lot of these guys are insecure. So he says, I don't watch your videos. We can debate in VC with a judge. I'll slam you on any topic. You're trash as fuck. In fact, I'll drop my Discord. Rebornism. When you have the balls to add me, I'll be waiting. So, oh, here it is. Here it is. So, what did he say? Yeah. If you comment under my shit again without an argument, I'm blocking and removing you. Oh no. Someone I don't know says they're going to block me and remove my comment. Help. What is it with these guys that think getting blocked is the end of the world? What is it with these guys thinking that they have some type of power over you just because they can block you? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's very interesting to me. Anyways, so as you can see, right? He sent his Discord. I don't know why. I have no idea why you would block somebody, but then, hey, add me on Discord. We can debate. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about. It's some weirdo stuff, though. But I'm here for it. I don't mind. So, me being with all the smoke possible because I don't duck fades. If you want a conversation, as long as I'm free, I got time, and it's something I'm interested in, we'll have the conversation. We don't duck smoke. We can talk. I don't mind. Where is the start of the chat? Hold up now. Come on now. Come on. Load up for me. There we go. All right. So, I add him the same day he says it. And I wanted to do this the same day he said it because he caught me at a really good time in a really good mood. I felt like tearing some shit up. I just had a debate with my twin brother. I was like, oh, I'm fresh. I'm fresh. My mind's ready. I'm racing. What do you want to talk about? So, I ask him what days you free to VC. He says, I got to find some Japanese raw scans, and then I can find a good time. Anyways, we can discuss what takes we have before we formally debate. Now, mind you, like I said, I did not know this was Flint's until I got to Discord. Because I saw his name, it said Flint's. I was like, yo, this is Flint's? Who else would I be? I thought this was general knowledge. I was the same person. I say, well, you change your profile every other month, which he does do. I thought you disappeared from X. Laugh my ass off. Because he changes his profile every other month. You never know who he is because he does not keep a consistent profile. You can maybe pick up who he is through his discourse, but you'll never know who he is because he changes his profile on a month-to-month basis. It's weird. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say it's weird. Maybe it's tactful. Maybe it's tactful. I don't know. All I know is I didn't know this was Flint's when we were talking in X. Like I said, if I did know it was him because we do have somewhat of a rapport, me saying that they don't scale to their ninjutsu may have gone differently. I probably would have held the same stance, but I also might have thrown a bone or two as far as an argument, right? But like I said, I know it was fun. So I thought Reborn was new to the community. Not gonna lie, the way he, like Luna Ursa, the way he argued with you, I thought he was new to the community. I'm like, who is this guy? So, you change your profile every other month, thought you disappeared from X. So he says, anyways, we can discuss what takes we have before we formally debate. There's not much to discuss. Ninja don't scale to the techniques they produce. Can you explain why? He then says, I also think that Bleach characters cannot move at light speed, nor exceed the speed of light as a rule of the verse. So he says, can you explain why? I say, because they are injured by less force than what they've shown to output. In other words, they can output attacks on level 100, but they can be hurt by level 20 attacks. Just as a quick example. I did not entertain the Bleach light speed thing. It has nothing to do with why we started interacting in the first place. It has no room, basis, or importance in the conversation. I ignored it. Don't fall for these stupid ass traps. Do not fall for these smoke and mirrors, red herrings, and all these other things. We're not here talking about Bleach. You didn't challenge me on anything about Bleach. In fact, you said you could slam me on any topic. I didn't bring up Bleach. Why are you bringing up Bleach? Anyways, he says, get this. I say because they're injured by less force than what they've shown to output. In other words, they can output attacks on level 100, but they can be hurt by level 20 attacks. He says, show them being injured by less force than what they've shown to output, please, and then prove it's force they're injured by solely. Ooh. Now that's an interesting way to respond. That's a very interesting way to respond. He then says, it's going to be really hard for you to prove they can't scale to what they output. After your response, I'll replace a burden on you. So he doesn't understand how to formulate sentences well. He also didn't correct this, which tells me that he might have thought this was the correct verbiage in how to say that. So let's think about this for a second. He says, show them being injured by less force than what they've shown to output, please. That's simple. You can find that in the first, 20 chapters of the story. You can find that. No, that's light work. But then he says, and then prove it's force they're injured by solely. Why would he say that? Prove it's force they're injured by solely. See, this tells me he's the type of debater that's going to, when you say something, when you make a posit, when you give a stance on something, he's not only going to look at what you said, but he's going to damn near make you qualify every little thing in there. And guess what? I'm game, because I can actually do it. I'm game. I can actually do it. You want to play semantics? You want to play games like that? Oh, and prove it was the actual force that injured him. I'm 3 steps ahead of you, buddy. I got you. Prove it was the force? Okay, cool. What do we define by force? How are we defining that? Work, energy. What are we talking about? Right? He then says it's going to be really hard for you to prove they can't scale to what they output. Why would that be hard? And why are you worried about what's going to be hard for me? That's what I'm worried about. Why are you worried about what's going to be hard for me? Just let me know when we're going to VC. Let me know when the debate is. So I thought that was very interesting. I thought it was a very telling thing. So he's fishing for answers. I don't know why. I respond with, sir, I didn't add you back to text back and forth. We're not pen pals. We're not friends. We're not buddies. We're acquainted over X. You blocked me, said my videos are shit, and something else. Right? That doesn't mean we're enemies per se. We're adversaries as of now, but it doesn't mean we're enemies. Right? So, I didn't add you to text back and forth. You have my stance on the matter, and even an argument. Your next reply should be when you're ready to debate. Alright, cool. As y'all see, this was 2 days ago, August 3rd. This was 2 days ago. So, that got set up. Let me tell you why I believe, number one, it might not happen though. I think he jumped out the window. I don't think he thought that I was going to add him. I also don't think he thought that I was going to stand on what I said. So we'll see. For now, I'm preparing like it's going to happen, but I do not believe it's going to happen because it's so easy to prove that ninja do not scale to their techniques. It's like, bro, all you got to do is read the series. And you know what's crazy? He doesn't understand this isn't just a Naruto thing. He doesn't understand this. He doesn't understand it's not just a Naruto exclusive thing. I would argue most verses don't scale to the higher end techniques. Hold up. Does he not know who he's talking to? Does he not know who he's playing with? What did I say? What did I say? Ninja don't scale to the techniques they produce. That's pretty open. That's a pretty bold and wide comment, right? It can cover a lot of ground. Ninja don't scale to the techniques they produce. When I said that, I was thinking about a lot of things. I was thinking about creation jutsu. I was thinking about attack potency jutsu. I was thinking about a lot of things, right? So when he said, "Can you explain why?" I was like, "Okay, cool. You know what? That's the basis. Let's see if we can bring it in a little bit more." Because they're injured by less force than what they've shown to output. Injured by less force than what they've shown to output. So, we're going to clearly be talking about AP. I don't mind getting into total energy. I don't mind getting into creation. I don't mind getting into none of that stuff. But we're going to clearly be talking about attack potency, destructive capacity, total energy, and durability. Yeah. So, it's very easy to find these examples throughout the story. They're literally within the story. And I think he might have accepted this prematurely. We'll see. Maybe if he's in the research phase still, he might reconsider. We'll see. But hey, let's go over his thread and see what he has to say about ninjutsu. Let's do that. So let's go back. Let's go to the one that I was blocked on. You scale to your ninjutsu part, I don't even fucking know, a thread. Cool. I want you guys to pay attention. I'm going to break some of this stuff down live. And if we do have the debate, it's going to be just as impactful now as when I actually break it down in the debate. So he starts off with this. The law of conservation states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Nothing in Naruto indicates they can produce more energy than they naturally possess or can muster. So the argument ninjutsu doesn't equal output is dead. Okay. So we're talking about the law of conservation of mass. Let me ask you guys a question. Is the law of conservation of mass inclusive of what an object or being can perform? When he's quoting this law, where it says energy can neither be created nor destroyed, is he talking about, is it talking about the resting energy of the object, being, or thing? Is it talking about the potential energy of the object, being, or thing? Is it talking about the energy that thing can generate outside of itself? These are the questions that you need to answer if you're going to use the law of conservation of mass. So the argument ninjutsu doesn't equal output is dead. I don't even know how you get to this conclusion, because that's not what it says. Let's keep going. Chakra can be transmuted to take on different properties that might bypass the target's durability, depending on the type of durability and how weak the character is. This does not mean Chidori can pierce every opponent or Rasenshuriken affects them either. So Chakra can be transmuted, this is true, to take on different properties that might bypass the target's durability. Again, I have no problem with that. Pretty true. This does not mean Chidori can pierce every opponent or Rasenshuriken affects them either. Ooh. Now, that one's a little interesting because my position on the Naruto durability, which I'll get into heavily during the presentation, I really can't wait for it. It's like I'm really exploding to present this shit. Anyways, my position on the Naruto versus durability at this point, at this juncture, is that they have an extremely low threshold for damage. That's the best and most simple way I can say. They have an extremely low threshold when it comes to damage. Anyways, let's go. Chidori is one such attack that I've seen that's misused as a debunk. Chidori requires one to gain a certain amount of speed plus amp the body to the max with chakra to move at an extreme velocity, not achievable with normal human speed. The body must be able to keep up with it. Okay. He then says, Sasuke's cells were torn apart by Chidori, something I bring up in my presentation. Meaning he has to increase his durability through training so the properties of that chakra does not destroy his body. I agree with this, but there's more to it than that. This debunks the fact that they can hold this energy in their body without scaling to it immediately, as they have zero resistance. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that last part is a little clunky for me, it's a little funky. It's hard to interpret exactly what he's trying to say here. He says, this debunks the fact that they can hold this energy. Does he mean can't hold this energy here? Because if it debunks the fact that they can hold the energy, then it's something that wouldn't scale to them, right? But anyways, this debunks the fact that they can hold this energy in their body. That they can hold this energy? I don't know. Without scaling to it. Without scaling to it immediately, as they have zero resistance. I wouldn't say that. Chakra requires mental and physical staminas. Danzo needed the physical energy enhancement to his cells to create a balance between physical and mental staminas. Stamina is derived from the cells and the mind. As stated by Kurama, chakra is life force. Some thinks chakra is just a new thing that's not either energies, but shaving the chakra means also shaving off mental and physical energies, meaning it is the same energy as ninjutsu, etc. This means the cells and mind must produce equal energy. And get this, he says, so can we please stop saying ninjutsu output of energy does not scale to user? If you mean hacks in durability sense, that has no correlation to hacks increasing output of techniques, which is true. All right, listen, here's the thing. Did anyone get anything from this thread? And by anything, I mean, did anyone actually find out why ninja do scale to their output? Did this thread actually make sense to you? Because it didn't to me. I've read this several times now. I couldn't find anything in this thread that necessitates ninja scaling to their output. Ninja scaling to their jutsu. I couldn't find it. I read it several times and I was like, that's strange. It's not often you read a thread and come away with less than you came in with. Because I'm leaving with less. I really am. I have more questions. I want more examples. There's examples he neglected to show, or he doesn't have the capacity to understand why they're good examples to use against him. I don't know. Shout out to John the Maven. We got John the Maven in the chat. Your next line is quacking of duck fleeing debate arena like shit facts. All right, let me look over here real quick. No way Ab wins this fantasy. No way Ab wins this fantasy debate. If the debate happens, I got $10 on it being a bot. Like shit. I'm not even mad at that. Seen the YouTuber do Hiei versus Espada, and I do agree they are. Hiei wins, but aside, he was alluding to downplaying the Espada's speed by those debunked metas from years ago. Oof. Like, there's nothing that shows physical stats equal anything in the series. Nope. Bro is petty. He is an actual loser. Damn, bro has better self-control than me. Saw that video pop up, but I'm not surprised. He did what you said. Hiei in the series should be capable of beating Espada, but prior to that, I don't see it. I think Hiei during the psychic arc beats most of all the Espada. During the tournament arc, the last tournament arc, I think he definitely washes all the Espada. Is he compensating for something? No judgment, of course. Coward behavior from Flint's. Yeah, no, facts, exactly. Genuinely, Mr. Guy 2294, 22494. Mr. Guy. Do I know you, Mr. Guy? I don't think I do. I'm Ab-stract, your host. I'm your host, Ab-stract, and this is the Ab-stract section. Welcome to the channel. They do this because they still think followers and likes still mean something. As I told you once, I once got Naruto fans trying to gang up on me on TikTok when I don't use that platform. Yeah. Oh, wait. As I told you once. Mr. Guy, did your profile change or something? Or is your handle new or something? I don't know. Also, they like the block as a way of winning. Yeah, no, that's crazy, right? A block is a win. You'd be surprised how many times I've been in debates on threads just for the person to come at me to talk shit, and then immediately right after limit replies to that same comment. Exactly. It's crazy. You tell them to go to screw themselves, and they're like, the RP will tell you, I've already done that like shit. Bleach is always on Narutard's mouse. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, it's really weird. Mind you, I didn't bring up Bleach. That guy did. And we're going to see again someone bring up Bleach without me doing it. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Okay. Where are we at? Force equals a shower or some deodorant. This is true. Ab-stract is also a fan of both. You're wrong. Oh, did someone say I'm not a fan of something? Oh, Bleach in One Piece stands always going at Naruto. You know, Karibo, the crazy thing is, bro, I'm probably more of a Naruto fan than the people that rep this series because I know it better than them. I can scale it better than them. In a trivia, I'm pretty sure I would win. That's important if you're going to be a fan. If you're going to claim to be a fan, you better know the series. In trivia, I'm pretty sure I would win. I also scale it really good, or in my opinion at least. Kakashi versus Toshido, no one scale Kakashi like that. You don't gotta like it, but it's damn near accurate. So hey, all right. Ab-stract is all yes, just like most people in the chat. Exactly. Nobody hates Naruto. You guys just can't scale it right. Exactly. Is that a JoJo's reference? Bro's gonna pull a Sherlock level deduction. All you have to do is read the series. Whoa, slow down there, bro. You're asking a lot. Exactly. Whoa, hold up now. Don't have a brain aneurysm. All I asked you to do was read the series you claim to like and scale. Man, oh man. Okay, where we at? They're literally going by inductions alone. That's dubious inherently. Inductive reasoning fails without a means to test the rule's validity. And we can't test manga physics. Exactly. Tay says, or Twins and Things says, I appreciate the dono, bro, again. Twins and Things says, I'm the only one who can handle Ab-stract in a debate with no guardrails. No, listen, I don't think that. What it might be, Tay, is we might be so familiar with each other that it may seem like that, but if new information is like, presented to me, it might take me a minute to get, to get on wave. It really depends, though. It really depends. If it's Naruto, there's not a high likely chance, but if it's like something else or like 7 Deadly Sins, yeah, it's gonna take me a minute. Like I gotta. That's why I be asking Igno all those damn questions. Like I gotta exactly understand what this series is trying to tell me. Or what the scaling is trying to tell me. I gotta figure that out first. So it's really annoying to come in blind. We got Raggedy Red. What's good? If your physical scale to your chakra output, what is the point of Sakura and Tsunade using chakra to amp their physical strikes? Hey, Raggedy, don't give it to him yet. We got a lot to talk about. If he takes this, which I do not believe he will do, because like I said, there's just too much evidence. It's like I don't even understand. I don't even know why There's a lot. Anyways, not going to harp on that. Bro, if you're going to do trivia nights, I better be there. We should do a trivia night. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Anyways, let's go to his other thread. Because he has multiple threads, right? And this is how I'm prepping for this quote unquote debate. So let's go to Chakra, or let's type in Chakra. Not Chakra Fundamentals, not that one. Oh wait, no, it's not Chakra, it's Ninjutsu. Okay, why Naruto characters scared to their ninjutsu part 2. This was July 10th. Now again, if you're going to be talking about characters scaling to their techniques, we should see direct evidence of either A, them surviving or showing the least adverse effects to attacks on their level of skill and higher, or calcs. Because those are the only two ways you're going to get information from a feat. You have calcs, you're scaling. Let's see if he presents either one in this thread. So let's do this. He says, first I want to explain that ninjutsu are one-to-one as the counterpart in nature, and two, once it becomes externalized. The world's physics still affects it. I read that wrong. Let me do it again. First, I want to explain that ninjutsu are one-to-one as the counterpart in nature, and two, once it becomes externalized, the world's physics still affects it, unless it has specific mechanism that gets around real-world constraints. Cool. So he's basically trying to establish that ninjutsu is one-to-one with IRL natural phenomena. Cool. He says the series explains it in a way that natural laws are not loose inspiration for ninjutsu. Instead, it consistently portrays scientific knowledge of the natural world as the foundation for understanding, developing, and improving jutsu. So this is something I hope we've all read or should have read. This basically goes on to say that ninja must understand the world around them in order to replicate and perform jutsu. They have to understand lightning to a degree. They have to understand magnetism and metal to do magnet style to a degree. That's basically what this is saying. You can read it on your own time. I'll leave it here for a second. 3, 2, 1. And I'll go down. You can read this one for a second if you want to. 3, 2, 1. Cool. So yeah. Next, I want to go over the quantitative method of them scaling to ninjutsu. I mentioned before, the Sage 6 Path statement says insufficient chakra refinement results in effects that are too small to make a difference. Okay, cool. So let's read this a little bit. It says, 6 Path Sage Mode. To acquire this same technique's abilities. See, now this is an interesting statement to start off with. It says, to acquire this same technique's abilities, severe training and refinement of chakra is needed, or the effect would be too small to make a difference. This almost sounds like Sage 6 Path's mode is something you could reach through training. It literally says to acquire the same techniques and abilities. So it sounds like something you could reach, almost like becoming a sage yourself, right? Anyways, to acquire the same techniques, abilities, severe training and refining of chakra is needed, or the effect would be too small to make a difference. No matter the suffering that goes against one's steel conviction, one cannot give up. So then, to achieve samsara and destiny's guidance, only those who carry these traits will be given power from the Sage 6 Paths for the first time. The technique was created in hope that people would use it to connect their life force to understand each other, and eventually that the world would attempt to change its way in the long run. This technique is not chosen by ninja to master. It is a technique that chooses ninja. Right. So on one hand, it sounds like Hagoromo has to give it to you. On another hand, it sounds like you could actually attain or achieve this level of power with sufficient training and, whatever. Anyways, so he takes that little small phrase of too small to make a difference, and he's using it in an entire, he's using it in an entire syllogism, basically, right? We'll see. Excuse me, because something like this would need to be critiqued. It would be critiqued heavily by me. Too small to make a difference. How small is too small? What's the boundary for too small? What exactly are they talking about when they say make a difference? What kind of difference are we looking for? Is this exclusive to this technique? How are you applying this to all chakra techniques, all ninjutsu? When does it stop? A lot of questions. He says that means the ability isn't arbitrary or symbolic. It has measurable output that scales with energy and chakra. This already treats jutsu as a physical phenomenon with quantitative properties. However, there are arguments circling that how they give rise to X is not one-to-one. So he's more concerned about jutsu acting like something than if the characters actually scale to it. I don't know if you guys are picking this up. He's more concerned about what's happening with the chakra. Oh my God, it's becoming lightning. It's becoming fire. It's becoming wind. It's sharp. He's more concerned with that shit than if ninja actually scale to these things. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm stuttering. Probably hungry. He says, with the chakra outputs such as behavior, once the jutsu is created, it does possess mass, momentum, heat, pressure, electrical potential, etc. Depending on the properties of the thing in question. Like for example, chakra does not have the same mass as earth, conductivity of lightning, etc. But in order to activate the chakra change in nature, you have to make it behave that way, and then it transforms into that nature. Based on what we've seen with the Rasenshuriken, the effects of a jutsu can hurt the user if the user can be harmed by it. So, another funny thing, he can acknowledge that the effects of a jutsu can hurt the user, but he can't realize that. Never mind. I'm not even going to give it to him because he might watch this. He said he doesn't watch my channel. He said he doesn't watch my content. But lo and behold, Flint's was one of the first people under my videos. So that's a lie. You do watch my content. Yeah, that quote doesn't mean that ninjutsu are directly one-to-one with realistic phenomena. Always, though. It just says that you need to understand the elements in order to properly use ninjutsu. Exactly. And here's the thing, Luna Ursa. I'm so much of a thug in this shit. I don't mind giving you the bullshit if you think it helps you. I don't mind. You want to think ninjutsu scales one-to-one with IRL elements? As long as we're keeping it to AP and not speed, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Because then you're going to have to demonstrate that they still scale to these things on an AP basis, which you cannot do successfully against me. You might try that on some other guys. You might try that in your community. It's not going to fly over here. It's not. I have too much information to work with. Oh, get this. He says, so to a degree, it's not contentious to say the final product doesn't scale to the user. So to a degree, because the Rasenshuriken can hurt you, and because Chidori can, electrocute your flesh off and shit, to a degree, it's not contentious to say the final product doesn't scale the user to it. The user themselves has to catch up with it. Interesting. So it's very interesting that on one hand, he can acknowledge this, but on the second hand, be confident enough to jump out there and say that ninja scale to their techniques. Blatant contradiction, sir. In the specific case with Rasenshuriken, Rasengan only works like a spring. In this case, it doesn't create more energy than the initial output. So, a statement like that in the actual debate, he would need to clarify exactly what he's talking about. Because if he's still operating under the basis of law of conservation of mass, those aren't the same things. Law of conservation of mass does not take into account the effects of those objects, people, or things that you're talking about. It speaks about the resting energy of the person. If I get incinerated and turned into pure energy, guess what? That's not saying that if I throw a kick, that energy is going to be higher or lower than my kick. That probably could have been explained a little bit better, but I think you guys get the point. Anyways. Oh, he does bring it up again. Okay. Oh, wait. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, you only transformed it. That doesn't mean you created more energy than the initial output unless the combined effects are greater than the sum. Unless the combined effects are greater than the sum. So let's look at this. And let's make sure we understand what he's saying. Let's read the first one. He says, so to a degree, it's not contentious to say that the final product doesn't scale to the user, right? In a specific case of Rasenshuriken, it only works like a spring. Okay. In that case, it doesn't create more energy than the initial output. Okay. Because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, you only transform it. That doesn't mean you create more energy than the initial output unless the combined effects are greater than the actual sum. Okay. So what techniques in Naruto rely on chakra and other components to exponentially increase their power? I wonder what techniques in Naruto rely on chakra and other components to exponentially increase their output. I wonder. So even under your framework of law of conservation of mass, the fact that they're adding a nature element to the technique and a change in chakra form, which is stated to exponentially increase the output, they wouldn't scale to their attacks that way. Because if you're arguing they scale to their chakra, and their chakra is the base of what they're working with, but then they add on 2 more components that make it exponentially stronger, they don't scale to that. Oh, we gonna talk. I got a lot to say to this guy. The more chakra you need / expend, the more it can affect the Keirakuke, aka chakra network, which harms the body because both are connected. Still haven't seen a single feat of anyone scaling to a technique, by the way. He says, another example is Chidori. You need the speed as a requirement, so the speed comes from the user and the body activation. You just take the chakra into store in the arms. But where does it imply they don't need to scale to it? It implies the opposite. So here's the thing. This guy doesn't understand the difference between initiating a jutsu and executing a jutsu. He doesn't understand that they're 2 different things. I'll give you a little bit, Flint. Since I know you do watch my content, I'll give you a little bit, right? Kakashi states that he can control the range and power of his Raikiri. Correct? Cool. When Sasuke pulls up on Itachi, Sasuke starts to use Chidori and literally burn the cells in the flesh off of his skin. Now, you might be saying, well, clearly Sasuke doesn't scale to his Chidori. And you're not totally wrong. Here's the thing. Because Sasuke can control the output of his Chidori, and he was in such an emotional rage when he saw Itachi, he likely amped the damn thing to such a point to where it does enough damage to him, but it won't destroy his arm. So what does this mean? Sasuke can control his Chidori, right? Ninja can control their techniques. Normally when he does his Chidori, or I should say, usually same thing. When he does his Chidori, he's not going to have the effect of destroying his skin because there's no need to amp it that much. There's no need to amp it that much. He only needs enough for what he's dealing with. And 9 times out of 10, the Chidori is going to one-shot most people anyway. So when he saw Itachi and started amping up his Chidori and it started, destroying his flesh, that's initiation. That's initiation. That's not the execution of the technique. The execution of the technique comes from the thrust, the speed, and the power. So when you're saying, but where does it imply they don't need to scale to it? Little buddy, if he's already destroying the flesh on his arm with the initiation, what do you think the goddamn execution is going to do to him? What do you think? That's the only one I'm giving you. That's the only one I'm giving you. With that being said, it would be 1-to-1. The energy required to produce fire, lightning, etc. will be required the same amount of work it would take in real life for that ability. See, he doesn't understand right? This conversation about output and scaling to jutsu isn't if chakra techniques can be a one-to-one with IRL elements. I'll concede that, right? This isn't to say I believe it. No, like I said, if you like it, I love it. As long as it doesn't step on my toes in my arguments, as long as it doesn't, undermine what I'm saying, you can say that shit all day. I don't care. It's think about it like this. It's less brain work for me to argue that they don't scale to their things than to just let you have it, because it's not going to affect the outcome of them scaling to their techniques anyway. So it's less of a headache for me if I just let you have that, because it doesn't affect the outcome of them scaling to their techniques, right? The conversation isn't if their techniques can be one-to-one with natural elements, and so it takes so much energy to create the actual electricity and mimic lightning and mimic fire. No one gives two shits about that. I want to know when they execute these techniques and when they're initiating these techniques, do they scale to that? Do they scale to that? Does Kakashi scale to the AP of his Raikiri when he does, of his Raikiri when he does the thrust? Does he actually scale to it? The answer is no. The answer is no. So he says, with that being said, it would be one-to-one. The energy required to produce fire, lightning, etc. would require the same amount of work it would take in real life for that ability. You already have to have a certain chakra amount to activate a chakra exchange in nature. So as you guys see, he's not really giving us anything, I don't want to say new. He's not answering the question. If this was a question on the assignment, he would fail because he's not directly answering the question at all. He's talking whole left field. Mind you, this is his thread. Why Naruto characters scale to their ninjutsu part 2. Has anyone seen why they scale to their ninjutsu at all in this thread? Has anyone? Or have you heard him talk about why ninjutsu should be one-to-one with IRL elements? I don't know what's with these guys. All right, where we at? Chidori. Okay. Ignoring how real physics apply and getting back to the argument. The data book states they seek to understand all things in nature, not merely imitate them, all things. All things implies the governing principle of the natural world, not isolated observations. If new discoveries about reality lead directly to new jutsu, then jutsu development is constrained by discoveries about how reality actually works. If they were being metaphorical, then scientific progress would have no reason to expand the possibilities of ninjutsu. Scientists are valuable because their understanding of reality has practical application to jutsu, and the series repeatedly treats empirical investigation as a valid method for understanding jutsu. So it can't just be the appearance, as I'll show again. So again, he's so fixated and concentrated and what's another good word? Enthralled with trying to prove these things are one-to-one with nature, that he's completely missing the mark on whether or not if these people scale to it. Because guess what? Just producing it doesn't mean you scale to it. Two different things. Excuse me. It's repeatedly shown how energy behaves and how the laws of physics still apply to creating jutsu for both shape and nature transformation. Regarding the durability aspect, I also want to make something clear as to another reason why it affects durability. Oh, here we go, durability. When ninja use chakra, they put most into either offense or defense. That leaves them with less chakra to defend themselves, or they just don't have a specific type of durability. For example, durability to cutting attacks doesn't equal durability to explosive attacks or punching attacks. So, the thing about this whole Kawaki thing is, after thoroughly investigating it and doing my own due diligence and research, I'm still a non-believer. I'm in disbelief. I don't believe ninja are doing this. I'm gonna present exactly why I believe this, and I hope through that presentation you can either understand where I'm coming from or agree. It really depends on how you take this, how you take Amado's word. It really depends, because it's not so cut and dry. It is not so one-to-one as you might think, and there's a lot of evidence against what he's saying. So that was his second thread. I didn't learn a thing from this thread about ninja scaling to their jutsu. I didn't learn a thing. All I learned was that you could potentially argue that they're natural, that the natural elements and that the ninjutsu counterparts are one-to-one. That's the only thing I might have learned. But to say I learned that is also fallacious because it's something I don't accept, number one. Number two, it's something I already knew as a possibility. So he didn't really teach me anything in that regard either. So yeah, it's like... So yeah, Dedrick Sickery says, I never believed the jutsu that they can output wouldn't directly scale to them. Who even says that? It only makes sense. Whatever they can create, they can also destroy. And durability scales with most types of damage in that regard. They beat you blowing up mountain ranges. So, no disrespect to Dedrick Sickery, but you don't know what you're talking about. No disrespect. I say this as someone who has been scaling for a very long time. I take that back. I say this as someone who has studied these things intently. I say this as someone who has looked over these matters judiciously. I say this as someone with a vested interest in Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. They all matter to me. They're all important. So, when you say, I never believed the jutsu that they can output wouldn't directly scale to them, well, that's the thing. You never believed that it couldn't be the case. So you never actually cared to search. You never actually cared to do the research. You never actually cared to look behind the curtain and say, oh, no, that's not the Wizard of Oz. That is a man. Who even says that? It only makes sense. Whatever they can create, they can also destroy. Where do they get these ideas from? Why must it be the case that because you can create something with energy, you can also destroy that same thing? Do we understand that if you're talking about destroying something you created with energy, to completely scale to it, you would need to vaporize it or pulverize it. You would have to reduce it to its most fine and delicate particles. If there's anything left, you didn't really destroy it. And that's just total energy. That's just total energy. That's not even AP. Flint says, it's not the output, but essentially there are different types of durability. Oh. You know what's interesting? I told you guys I wouldn't give you any more. I'll wait till the debate if it actually happens. So I won't say it. Naruto didn't have durability against cutting attacks on a cellular level until Sage Mode, which allows his body to become stronger. Eventually, he got so strong to the point he developed most Duras, and his Jutsu and Chakra exhaustion no longer become a threat to his Chakra network and body. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, and I don't think they can transform their energy into more, as that would violate physics. So yeah, he doesn't understand the law of conservation of mass. He doesn't understand it. That principle is not talking about the energy that these objects or beings can produce. That's not what it's talking about. Even if you want to say retroactively to where you turned Naruto into pure energy and say, oh, well, if you take Naruto and you were to create him out of pure energy, all that energy could power a fucking continent or a city, a state, or whatever. That would just be the total energy. That would just be the total energy. That wouldn't be AP. So I'm going to kick your ass on that point too. Because I know you don't know the difference. Most of you don't. Anyways, we have one more thing to go over. 8:15. We're doing perfect on timing right now. We have one more thing to go over. Where we at? Shinigami says, I haven't seen a single group of people prove the idea that women are inherently objectified for existing and nobody realizes it. Interesting. Kino says, let's pay attention to this stream. Facts. Pay attention. There they go using data books. Yep. Small is round, 1 inch or less. Small is around 1 inch or less. I don't know what that means, Nick. Dinner was amazing. I wish more was made. Didn't mean to commit friendly fire. Like how Flint compensates. He is indeed 1 inch small. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Shout out to Pac Miller. We got Pac in the chat. What's good, Pac? What's up, Ab-stract? I see you're talking about Naruto fanboys again. Hey, man, listen. I don't be searching for these things, right? I do not be searching for these things. And this next one is going to prove that. I didn't search for this guy, right? I was reading an old thread, and he happened to comment. Where's my notifications? Hold up. I also got to talk to Ill. Me and Ill are supposed to have a chat. But I'll probably do that on a space. Okay. Does that not intimate that your jutsu doesn't scale to you? Like if Naruto can be hurt by his own jutsu and then trained to become immune to it, he doesn't scale to it. Exactly. And guess what? Just because he trained not to be hurt by that level of attack, are we going to assume Naruto's attacks also don't grow with him? So hold up. He can get strong enough to out-train the Rasenshuriken's passive ambient effects of hurting his hand. Does this now mean he outscales the goddamn Rasenshuriken? If that's the case, Naruto, why waste time with it? Why not put all your chakra into your fist and just punch somebody with the energy of the Rasenshuriken? Why not do that? Oh yeah, because your physical scale below your jutsu. And if that's the case, your durability definitely scales below your ninjutsu. Yeah, I don't think this debate is going to happen. I really don't. We'll see, though. Isn't this supposed to prove his point? Blatant contradictions isn't even cutting it. He's debunking himself. Exactly. Which is why, like... Hey, listen. I'm going to prepare like he is the most threatening, well-versed, knowledgeable person on this topic. I'm going to prepare like that if it actually happens. If not, I might just end up putting all this stuff into a presentation and presenting it, or putting it into a video and presenting it. The fuck is this word salad? Exactly. Motherfuckers is overcomplicating this. Yo, I did not want to be the one to say it. I swear to God, I did not want to be the one to say it. I'm like, yo, is he just saying things? Why is the word qualitative and quantitative coming up in this? It's not that deep. It's not. Character A doesn't attack. Character B doesn't attack similar to character A. Character B hits character A with that attack. He either takes high damage and he doesn't scale to it, moderate damage and he scales somewhat to it, or no damage and he no scales it and he scales above it. It's not that, I think, hard. Literally not that hard. We want to see you take the least adverse effects from an attack. We want to know that your jutsu, excuse me, we want to know that your techniques are something that you can survive, and we can find that out via scaling or other methods, like Naruto getting hurt by his goddamn Rasenshuriken, like Sasuke being able to use his Chidori to burn off his own flesh. So hold up. If we know those two things, we know the actual attacks are going to be more devastating. It's not that hard. I don't know why people don't understand this. But hey, we're going to go over a conversation right now that makes you question whether or not these guys can even be honest about anything. So let's get into this. First, we're going to read Papushi's conversation. We're going to read his conversation. Let me go get my charger real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Okay. So this conversation actually happened today, not even too long ago. It probably finished up around like what, 6 o'clock? Because I told him I had to do a stream. We got Mong. Hello. I'm your host, Ab-stract, and this is the Ab-stract section. Welcome to the chat. I hope you like it here. You came on a good week. I just started a new streaming schedule, which I'm going to try to be implementing next week. So I'll be going live at least 3 times a week, 1 hour a day. 1 hour per session, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Like the video. Okay, let me catch up on chat, then we're going to read this thread here. The assertions he's making is that if they're one-to-one with IRL expressions, then the joules they output can be substituted with what it would require to make that phenomenon happen IRL. Oh, yes, of course. I understand the implications of that. And I have no problem with it. Because, and this is, again, I don't want to give away like too much or anything like that. It's fine. It's fine. I understand the implications. But none of that necessitates actually scaling to those things. Even if you can create them with your own energy, none of it necessitates scaling to it. That's the problem he's going to have with me. A bunk framework given. Yes, you don't scale to your tools. Exactly. Yeah, listen to all of it. The problem is that Chakra in most verses with mystical energy generates it through compounding or synthesizing energy from base components to create the shit. Exactly. This shit is worse than my worst possible diarrhea. Too much information, Shinigami. Too much. Lunarsa says, it's because these things aren't inherently linear. Like, just because you can grow to withstand effects in one context doesn't mean you necessarily are also scaling to the energy. Exactly. Yo, Ab, I already DM'd you a similar conversation about Chakra not equaling stats. Got you. Zabuza being 50 times weaker than Naruto. Hey, certain B, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. Mind you, I would never say something so stupid. I would never have a take like that. I'm not the person who manifested this idea. I would never go down that road. These aren't my thoughts. I'm parroting what this crazy person said. Y'all about to see it. Let's get into it. So, the conversation, I don't remember what this conversation was even about. Probably, okay, TSOs damage the soul. Cool. So that was the initial conversation, but we're really here for this guy, Papush, right? So, Dante, don't know who this is, but Dante says, take any of these two. Sakura completely regenerated her soul as seeing Tsunade was stated to be capable of doing so to Orochimaru's sealed soul, which was sealed for eternity. Sakura upscale. Or two, that wasn't a TSO, it was a Chakra Rod pick. Now, I'm not here for these, but I'll address these shortly. First off, this is just pyramiding inferences. This is just making assumptions, right? There was no guarantee or actual intimation or even an implication that Tsunade could have healed Orochimaru's arms. Nothing suggests that. How do we also know that if she was going to heal his arms, it would actually heal his soul? We see when he switched his body, his arms work just fine. How do we know she wasn't just going to do some superficial healing instead of some soul-based healing? You can't actually prove none of this shit, so I don't even know why he said that. Secondly, we don't even know if Madara was using the TSO's ability to know jutsu, which is shadow and light. We don't even know he was using that on Sakura. So to say Sakura healed her soul is just an assumption. There's nothing backing it. You made it up. It's headcanon. Cool. Now, Papushi says, laugh my ass off. How many times I gotta tell y'all, there's no such thing as upscaling in Naruto. Now, I love not being the only person to say shit. I love it. When I find other people who can actually know what they're talking about as far as this conversation goes, it makes me so happy, right? So he says, how many times I gotta tell y'all, there's no such thing as upscaling in Naruto. That's just a headcanon y'all like to make. For now, for no reason, fights are determined by outsmarting or using specific jutsu against your op. Now, here's the thing I'd say with this, Papushi. I wouldn't state this claim like this, right? I wouldn't say there's no such thing as upscaling. That one's a little harder to defend. That's a little harder to defend. What I would say is Naruto's power system makes vertical scaling or even horizontal scaling almost impossible to do. Or I would probably stick to, if we're just talking about durability, I would stick to what I've been saying before. The characters have an extremely low threshold when it comes to durability, right? But saying there's no upscaling, that one's a little harder. I'd probably rephrase it, but we understand what you're saying. So, Dante says, when you're ready to debate, let me know. Papushi says, laugh my ass off debate. Y'all don't ever answer questions. Want me to prove it? Here. Now, this shit is funny. He says, if we take Sasuke's statement as true, then I ask the following. Mind you, Sasuke's statement, or this is actually Zetsu saying this. Sasuke's just sitting here. Someone carrying Shuriken might still lose to pebbles thrown by an adept, right? If we take Sasuke's statement as true, then I ask the following. If you're far more skilled than your opponent, but they outscale you in power by magnitudes, will you be able to harm them? Yes or no? Fair question. So, Trey, who is going to be our focus for tonight, answers, depends. It says might, by the way. Pushy says, don't you think I factored that into conditions? Are you... is that supposed to be if? Okay. Don't you think I factored that into conditions? Are you far skilled? Okay. Maybe he meant if you are far skilled than your opponent, but they are skilled by magnitude. Okay, yeah, that's what he was asking. He said, if you're far skilled. Oh my God, I hate when people can't type because then it makes me read it incorrectly. Don't you think I factored that into conditions? If you're far skilled than your opponent, but they outscale you by magnitude, will you be able to hurt them? Yes or no? He says magnitude, then no, LOL. The guy who outscales clearly wins. He says, but that doesn't make sense. He said, that doesn't make sense. Kid Naruto being able to harm Zabuza contradicts you. Zabuza being on par with Kakashi far outpowers Kid Naruto, who can't even climb a tree at this moment in the series. So this is a contradiction. Let's go by that again. His question is, if someone far outskills you, right? But the opponent, if someone has higher skill, but they're outscaled by magnitude, will you be able to hurt them? Yes or no? He says no. The guy who outscales clearly wins. Papushi says, but that's a contradiction, right? Because Zabuza would have far outscaled Naruto and Sasuke at that point, but because Naruto and Sasuke's cunning in their skill, they were able to make Zabuza release his jutsu. So it's a contradiction. Now, this is how you know when people don't know how to scale, right? He says that literally just upscales Naruto. Oh boy. Upscaling needs to be its own video. It needs to be its own live. Because far too often, I hear people just get upscaled for no reason. Sakura hits Kaguya, oh, that upscales Sakura to Universal. Someone hurt, Lee kicks through Madara, oh my God, that just upscales Lee. And we do it, and I don't want to say we, I really mean y'all/they. Do it for the purpose of strictly upscaling or increasing your favorite verse or character stats. Literally it. Because if you had to accept the truth, which is that them being hurt by someone weaker than them doesn't upscale the fucking person. Being hurt by someone weaker than you doesn't upscale the person. It grounds the scaling. And especially if it's consistent, it grounds the scaling even more. All right. He says that's literally just an upscale to Naruto. You do realize he has an insane amount of chakra, right? He said that as if having an insane amount of chakra somehow affected your stats. He said that as if having a lot of chakra makes you objectively stronger than someone else. We're going to get to it. And so what's your point? Kaguya had more chakra than both Naruto and Sasuke put together and still lost, so that was a moot point anyways. Back to this. Naruto being able to harm Zabuza means he scales to him, correct? He says, Naruto being able to harm Zabuza means he scales to him, correct? He responds, except that's not the same context here. And Kaguya used all her chakra on swapping dimensions. It wouldn't really mean that he's straight on scales to him. For that to be, you would need more relativity. Also, I forgot to mention Naruto did not do a significant damage to Zabuza. Hold up. Oh, yeah. Naruto didn't do significant damage to Zabuza. Papush says, any significant damage? Lil Kid, the reason he didn't is because Zabuza moved out the way last minute. So I asked, does Kid Naruto scale up to Zabuza or not? Here we go. His question is, does Kid Naruto scale up to Zabuza or not? Trey answers, no, he does not. Then that means you don't need to scale to your opponent to harm them. Get it now? Good. Making Sasuke's statement true. If you're skilled enough to harm someone who has better equipment / skill than you do. What's his next one? Oh, wait, what just happened? Okay, anyways. I hope we all saw that. Let's do that again. The conversation is, if there's a skilled fighter versus a fighter that heavily outscales them, will the fighter with higher skill be able to injure, kill, or affect this fighter who outscales them? His example is between Naruto and Zabuza, right? Naruto was able to injure Zabuza with the kunai. It would have been even more fatal, probably, if Zabuza didn't release his jutsu and actually dodge. So he asks him, does Kid Naruto scale up to Zabuza or not? He says, no, he does not. But if he was being internally consistent here, he would have said, yes, he does. But we're going to get to the craziness. That's me and his conversation. We're going to get to that. He says, then that means you don't need to scale to your opponent to harm them. Get it now? Good. Making Sasuke's statement true. If you're skilled enough, you can harm someone who has better equipment and skill than you do. Trey says, you do need to scale to that person to harm them on a significant level. You do need to scale to that person to harm them on a significant level. Interesting. It begs the question, what would be a significant level? Can you demonstrate what that is? Can you contextualize it? And can you qualify it? Can you quantify that and then qualify what you mean by significant level? Because we can't just say things. We need metrics for things. We need metrics. We need data points. That statement was made when a person is in a relative situation. Also, it says might. Also, you crop the panel, laugh my ass off. It literally says that weapon scale to the user. It literally says that weapon scale to the user. Yeah, and so, again, people just don't understand what metaphors are. I don't know if it's a reading comprehension thing. I don't know if it's a lack of, understanding, but people don't understand what metaphors are. This isn't saying that weapons scale to the user how they say they scale to the user. I've broken this down with Zaz. I'm not doing it tonight. Notice how Sasuke doesn't make the clarification of your skills compared to your enemies. He's talking about if you are skilled enough, you can harm your enemy, even if they themselves are skillful. Nice try, buddy. Right. You keep dodging the fact that it says might. Laugh my ass off. Might, because it's not factoring how powerful your opponent is, lil bro. Obviously, if you're super skilled, you might be able to harm your opponent, but they can always, dodge your attack. Stop it, bro. So get this. He says, laugh my fucking ass off. So you agree that the statement is vague and doesn't mean shit. So, hold up. Zetsu says might be able to harm or injure, right? And I can't actually see this, so I'm taking his word for it. Zetsu says might, right? Papush says it's saying might because different factors go in to when you're fighting someone, right? The person can be really tricky. They might just use clones and substitutions. You'll never hit that person. Number one, if you're slower. Number two, if they keep using trickery and subterfuge and all these other things. Where another fighter might just be a straight up taijutsu fighter who outscales you. Guess what? You have a significantly higher chance of injuring the taijutsu fighter, even though he outscales you, versus the guy that's using trickery, substitution, camouflage. He's erasing his presence. You're not going to hit that guy. You're not going to hit that guy. Even if you're on his level, it's going to be hard for you to hit that guy. If he outscales you, you're definitely not hitting that guy. So yes, different factors affect how the fight's going to go. So yes, might is actually accurate to say. Trey takes the might as a vague statement. He says, laugh my fucking ass off. So you agree that the statement is vague and doesn't mean shit. How do you walk away with that understanding? How do you walk away with that understanding? It literally doesn't make sense. Laugh my ass off. Of course you want things to be in ambiguity. Anyways, Sasuke's statement stands. If you yourself are highly skilled, you can beat someone who is more skilled than yourself. It says might, laugh my fucking ass off. Black Zetsu literally said it himself. So, this is what also makes it somewhat hard and annoying to engage with these type of people. Imagine if me and this guy were actually having a good faith debate. And we bring up this panel of Zetsu talking about weapons might being able to injure someone or something, right? Only in power scaling and only in debate format would someone see might and say it's ambiguous. That's the only way you could interpret that. The pure fact that Sasuke's Sharingan is on a weaker or a lower level than the Mangekyo Sharingan, and it still worked, whether you believe it did or not, let's just assume for the sake of the argument it did work, tells us that people that are weaker or items that are weaker or things that are weaker can overcome stronger things. That philosophy is then being, what's the word? Not extrapolated. Put over, because I can't think of the damn word right now. That philosophy is then being extended to other areas of combat, like shuriken and pebbles. So no, there is no might. A more skilled fighter can definitely injure a fighter that outscales them. And you'll never be able to demonstrate anything in Naruto where it works like other series. And I promise you, anything that you bring up, I'm going to save it. It's okay. I'm going to save it. I got to keep remembering, bro. A lot of this stuff is either for the presentation or this new debate. Okay. Let's get going. It says might, laugh my ass off, and Black Zetsu literally said himself, Lil bro, I'm taking into consideration the might. Here, Sasuke and Zetsu are talking about the individual himself and how skillful they are. The might comes from that it's possible to beat someone who is more skilled, who is more skilled / more than you, but it's not a guarantee. Exactly. So at this point, it's comprehension. And you're going to see when me and him talk, it's comprehension. He just doesn't really get it. He says, nope, they're talking about the skill could do. He's talking about the skill could do that. It might do that. So he doesn't understand context. I damn near want to say he doesn't understand language. He definitely has very low comprehension. That's just my assessment. I'm not even being mean. Trey, we follow each other, so I'm allowed to do this. That's actually part of my rules. If I follow you, I don't mind ripping on you a little bit because we have somewhat of a rapport. Bruh. Then we're saying the same thing. Sasuke and Zetsu are saying your high-level skill might be able to harm someone stronger than you, but guess what? Lil kid, if there was an actual upscaling, and this is the biggest thing with Naruto. This is why, like, the whole thing is really bullshit, if I'm being quite honest with you. If there was actual upscaling, it wouldn't matter how skilled you are. That's the point. If there was actual upscaling in Naruto, if it actually existed in the way that these other series portray it, someone like Zabuza, an elite ninja who killed his entire class at 9 years old or something like that, on the same level of Kakashi, someone like Zabuza would not get hurt by shuriken or kunai thrown by kids that don't even know how to infuse chakra in weapons, that don't even know how to climb a tree, that don't even know how to walk on water. They wouldn't get hurt if the upscaling that he's talking about actually existed. Zetsu did not say might, lol. Oh, okay. So now Zetsu didn't say might. I don't know. Like I said, I'm taking their word for it. I don't know who said might. I'm just, Notice how both Trunks and Ichigo both are strong, high-skilled fighters. Didn't mean shit when up against an opponent that was stronger than them, unlike them in Naruto. Oh, unlike them, in Naruto, it is possible to harm your opponent even if they themselves are stronger and more skilled than you. Yes, unlike them, in Naruto, it is definitely possible to harm your opponent even if they themselves are stronger and more skilled than you. That's a fact. But here's the kicker. No amount of skill is going to allow Ichigo to hurt Aizen. No amount of skill is going to allow Trunks to hurt Goku. Here at least. It's not skill-based. Naruto does have skill-based matchmaking. But they don't have elo. If skill-based matchmaking ranks a character's thought process, strategy, tactics, tactfulness, and all these other things, the elo is how powerful the person is. Naruto characters don't have any elo. Alright. So, 8 hours ago. Mind you, this was October 2025. I stumbled upon this. 8 hours ago. This was a joy to read, laughed my ass off. I got so many arguments for this discussion, but I'm adding this Sasuke Itachi one. Yeah. Because I never looked at the Sasuke and Itachi interaction like how Papush broke it down. So it was very funny. I will be adding that. He says, yeah, so funny that his entire argument relies on an argument from possibility. Plus the fact that these same arguments can be used against Bleach. Interesting. Now imagine that. I comment under this. This was October 2025, almost a year ago. I say, this was a joy to read, laugh my ass off. I got so many arguments for this discussion, but I'm adding this Sasuke Itachi one. The first thing that comes out of his mouth is Bleach. Why? Why are you talking about Bleach? What are you talking about? That's so weird to me. I don't understand it. So he says his entire argument relies on an argument from possibility. So I had to break down exactly why that's the case. Of course, it's an argument from possibility. It depends on who's fighting who. The only reason Tenten can't kill Madara with the kunai is because he would never allow her to hit him. The possibility is there, but Madara doesn't sit there in no-cell attacks from Tenten. You can't show me it. It doesn't exist. And we're reposting that. He says the reason Tenten can't kill Madara is simply because she's weaker than him. It's simple scaling. So notice how he didn't address what I said at all. And that's also a trope from these guys. They'll act like what you just said doesn't exist. They'll act like what you just said was not important or has no merit. Let's read that again. The only reason Tenten can't kill Madara with a kunai is because he would never allow her to hit him. The possibility is there, but Madara doesn't sit there in no-cell attacks from Tenten. The reason Tenten can't kill Madara is simply because she's weaker than him. So you see how we're both saying the same thing, but he's not actually addressing the argument here? Of course, Tenten is weaker than fucking Madara, but that's not why she can't kill him. That's not why. Right? I'm sorry, no. That's not stopping her from killing him. Take that back. That's not stopping her from killing him necessarily, right? What's going to stop Madara, or what's going to stop Tenten from killing Madara is the fact that Madara is Madara. He's going to have wood clones, limbos, Susanos, and all these other things. But it will not be because he's no-selling all Tenten's attacks. That's not happening. So I say exactly the same reason Genin Sasuke can't kill Zabuza. He's too weak overall. He wouldn't be able to tag him, outmaneuver him, or catch him in a trap. But not because Zabuza is no-selling Sasuke's attacks. So, the same reason you're saying Tenten can't kill Madara is the exact same reason Genin Sasuke can't kill Zabuza. He's too weak overall. Facts. Sasuke and Tenten are too weak overall to kill the people that they're trying to kill. This does not mean Zabuza or Madara can now just sit there and take kunai to the heart, into the lungs, into the face, and not die. No. He says he was able to catch and surpass Haku with his Sharingan, so he probably can do the same with Zabuza. So he doesn't understand. I say, I'm talking about the Sasuke that first encountered Zabuza. He says, yeah. He says, yeah, would be simply weaker, thus not doing anything to Zabuza. So, like, it's funny because Trey has told me before I can't track conversations. But every time I talk to this guy, he doesn't seem to understand what the fuck is going on. He doesn't understand what's going on. He didn't respond to the 10-10 thing. He didn't respond to the Sasuke thing. When he did respond to the Sasuke thing, he mentions the Sasuke that fought Haku for some reason. When I'm talking about the Sasuke that first encountered Zabuza, when I say it's the Sasuke that first encountered Zabuza, he says, well, I mean, obviously Sasuke's weaker. Obviously he's not going to do anything to Zabuza. That's not the point. The point is that Zabuza is not going to sit there and no-sell kunai attacks to his fucking neck. He's not. So that's the first half of the discussion. 8:47, we're doing great on time. Where are we at? You know what? Let me just go to my notifications. Not this one. Where is it at? Oh, wait. Was it this one? Let me see. Okay. So, Papush responds. We're not going to read all his because we don't really need to at this point. Let's zoom in. Well, actually, no. We will need to read one of his. Or two of his. Okay. Actually, we do need to read this, actually. Okay. So, Papush says, yeah, so funny his entire argument relies on an argument from possibility. Mind you, that's what Trey said first. So he's quoting this. Prime example of weaker characters simply harming other characters much more powerful than them. Also, Kage as well. Y'all forgot she's actually stronger than both Naruto and Sasuke. So his example is Jiraiya getting fucked up by Four Tails Naruto. Zabuza dodging the kunai. Naruto taking off Kaguya's arm. And Konohamaru hitting Pain. I don't know if I agree with all of these like necessarily, but I understand the point, right? Trey says Naruto is stronger than Jiraiya. Seiya 6 past Naruto and Sasuke are stronger than Jiraiya. Kid Naruto. Oh, guys, look at this. Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. The lengths these guys will go to not be wrong is incredible. They will directly misrepresent the series, lie, and outright create headcanon to make their shit stick. It's actually crazy. He said Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Kaguya is stronger than both Naruto and Sasuke. Also, Naruto is stronger than Jiraiya. Kid Naruto, who can't even walk on water, is stronger than Zabuza. No way you wrote that. Bruh, delete this shit before your ops see it. I'm the ops. It's me. I saw it. Have you ever read Naruto versus Kaguya? Naruto kept up with her and bodied her. You conceded the Kid Naruto. Nine Tails being stronger than Jiraiya. That's good. Now, watch this, because it's going to be a focal point for our discussion. He says, Teen Naruto has 100 times Chakra than Kakashi. Kid Naruto would probably have 50 times. So yeah, Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Let's read that again so we know I'm not making a mistake. Teen Naruto has 100 times Chakra than Kakashi. Kid Naruto would probably have 50 times. So yeah, Kid Naruto is over Zabuza. Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Kid Naruto is better than Zabuza. That's what he is saying right here. And if it wasn't for Obito, Kakashi and Sakura, Sasuke and would have been killed by Kage nearly one shortly after this. So again, no, just because they can steal her doesn't mean they were at her power, because they weren't. Also, I still can't believe you think Kid Naruto is Zabuza. Yeah, that's a crazy take. So I respond with anything to justify not being injured by kunai. Now, Kid Naruto must be as strong as Zabuza. Is that not crazy? Now, Kid Naruto must be as strong as Zabuza. Let's get into it. He says, I still haven't heard a single argument why he wouldn't be as strong or stronger. Y'all can keep crying, but the arguments are nowhere to be found. But low-key, I shouldn't be surprised, since that Jigen debate you showed how you deadass can't form any valid argument. Okay, cool. I hear what you're saying, bro. So let's get into it. I say, what objectively makes someone stronger in Naruto? This question is a good litmus test to see how much you actually know about the series. It's a good test to see your understanding of not only what Kishimoto was trying to achieve when he created Naruto, but also the inner workings of the power system. It's a very good question. What objectively makes someone stronger in Naruto? It's actually a trick question because the answer is actually nothing. Nothing objectively makes you stronger than someone else in Naruto. There's not a single thing that makes you objectively stronger. Not a single thing. Anyways, what objectively makes someone stronger in Naruto? He says, because you scale to your energy / chakra. Now, I don't think I have to explain why this is a terrible answer, a half-baked answer, a inchoate answer, and a inaccurate answer. I don't think I need to explain it. I say, can you explain that more in depth? Where are we at? I say, can you explain that more in depth? He says, I don't think there's much to add. The fact that you scale, he says, I don't think there's much to add to the fact that you scale to your energy. I don't think there's much to add. Go to the fact that you scale to your energy. And he can't type. I don't like people that cannot type. It's very annoying. But what does that actually mean? Right? Because if you're going to say Naruto is stronger than Zabuza, then I presume you have some metric that you're going by. So what does that actually mean? Scale to your energy, your chakra. What does that mean? What does that mean? He says your energy is what defines how strong you are. More energy or more potent energy means stronger. If you ever get an answer like this from a Naruto scaler, it's a dead giveaway that they don't understand the series. It's a dead giveaway that they don't understand the power system. Let's do this in context. I ask him what objectively makes someone stronger in Naruto. Right? He said scaling to chakra and energy. I said, can you explain that more in depth? He says, I don't think there's much to add. The fact that you scale to your energy. But what does that actually mean? What does that actually mean? He says your energy is what defines how strong you are. More energy or more potent energy means stronger. Now, there's a lot of ways you can approach such a abysmal answer, because this is a terrible answer. It's incorrect on its face. It's not supported by the series. It's not backed by the series. There are no statements or showings that would even suggest this is true. There are none whatsoever. Anything that you could find where someone has more chakra or more potent chakra, I can argue. I can argue it. Because it's not consistent. There are no actual determining variables about those instances. And they don't objectively mean you're stronger. They don't. So this is just a terrible answer. But I'm game. The goal here, like, listen, here's one of my styles of conversation, right? You don't always have to outright disprove someone or something. If they're crazy, play crazy with them. Let's see how crazy we can get this shit. I'm going to take his word on everything and let's just take it to its fullest realization. Cool. So your energy is what defines how strong you are. More energy or more potent energy means stronger. All right, cool. So why can Zabuza, someone who has 50 times less chakra according to you, hurt Naruto? Now get this. He says, I said 50 times more energy. Did you? Let's go check. Teen Naruto has 100 times chakra than Kakashi. Okay, comma. Kid Naruto would probably have 50 times. So yeah, Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Okay, cool. And we already have your definition for energy. Right? Energy for you, or what makes someone stronger to you, is energy. So you just told me that Naruto has 50 times more energy than Zabuza. Said another way, Zabuza is 50x less than Naruto. Not an unknown x 50 times. Zabuza is 50 times less energy than Naruto. So why can Zabuza hurt Naruto with a 30% clone at that? I said 50 times more energy. No, you didn't, actually. And we correct him. You said Naruto has 50 times more, which means Zabuza has 50 times less. So Naruto has 50 times Zabuza's energy, which by your interpretation translates directly to strength, yet he's somehow relative to Zabuza. Is that what you're saying? Do y'all see the crazy shit? Do y'all see the crazy shit? Listen, it's hard to keep up, mind you. It took him maybe an hour or it took him some time to respond to this. And I understand why. When you're just telling lies, it's hard to keep track of all of them. That's why he thought he said 50 times. That's why he thought he said 50 times more energy. No, sir. You said Zabuza, I'm sorry, you said Kid Naruto, which takes place in part 1, has 50 times the chakra of Zabuza. It's right here in black and white. Teen Naruto has 100. Kid Naruto would probably have 50. So yeah, Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. So, he says, are you actually just manipulating the words? I said Naruto is 50 times more than Kakashi, not Zabuza. The young man doesn't understand what he's been saying. You literally said Teen Naruto is 100 times Kakashi, and that Kid Naruto would probably be 50 times. So yeah, Kid Naruto Zabuza. He doesn't understand what he typed. It's hard to keep track of all those damn lies, is what it is. Because he knows this shit doesn't make sense. So he says, yeah, Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. He stands on it. He doubles down. Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. That doesn't mean that there's no relativity. Naruto is stronger than Sasuke, yet there's clear relativity, since Sasuke is able to keep up and hurt Naruto. Well, hold up. In the fight with Naruto and Zabuza, a clone of Zabuza, in fact, a weaker clone, is able to keep up with an injured Naruto. So by proxy, in your definition, wouldn't that make them relative? Anyways, between two relative characters, there's still one character that's slightly stronger. This is basic power scaling. He says this as if he's either teaching me something, introducing something new, or it's an obvious point. But he doesn't understand the trap that he set himself in. He literally made chakra based on strength. He made chakra amount and potency based on strength when the series directly contradicts that fucking idea. Because if he knew anything about Naruto, he'd know it's all about chakra control. He'd know it's all about your base physical stats. He'd know it's all about your whatever genes you have playing that can help you. It's never, ever about potency or just total amount, total reserves. That's a lie. He doesn't know the series. So if Kid Naruto, because we finally got it down, right? He just admitted, yeah, Kid Naruto stronger than Zabuza after I forced him to see his own damn writing in here. Because he wasn't getting it for some reason. It wasn't clicking. All those damn lies in his head. So if Kid Naruto is 50 times stronger than Kakashi or Zabuza, doesn't really matter which one you pick, why can Zabuza hurt him? How is Zabuza 50 times weaker while at the same time relative and able to hurt Naruto, someone 50 times stronger? Mind you, his definition of relative is what? Characters that can hurt each other. He has the definition here somewhere. I don't remember where he put it. But yeah, his definition of relative is characters that can hurt each other. He says he's 50 times stronger than Kakashi, and it does matter since Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative. Whoa, hold up, buddy. Now Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative? You've lost me. So hold up. Naruto, let's do this. He's 50 times stronger than Kakashi, and it does matter since Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative. Okay, cool. So Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. Naruto can hurt Zabuza. Zabuza can hurt Naruto. Kakashi is weaker than Naruto, right? Because he's 50 times stronger than Kakashi, definitely. That's what he said. Because he thinks Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative. So he's definitely 50 times stronger than Kakashi. But Kakashi and Zabuza can hurt each other. And Naruto and Zabuza can hurt each other. But he's 50 times stronger. I don't think he understands what the implication of 50 times means. I don't think he understands that. I don't think he understands how multipliers actually work. I don't think he understands that if Naruto was even 10 times stronger than Zabuza, Zabuza would never be able to lay a finger on him. 50 times? 50 times? If Naruto was 50 times stronger than Kakashi, Kakashi would have lost the bell test the moment it started, if he was 50 times stronger. So he says Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative, which is insane to hear. Never thought, but this is why it's not worth it to actually debate these people. It's really not worth it. They will lie. They will say what they need to say in the moment. To say Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative, it might be the most dumb take I've heard this year. It might be the most dumb take I've heard this year. Kakashi and Zabuza keep up with each other in speed, reaction time, and AP. How are they not relative? If he's 50 times stronger than Kakashi, why is Naruto blitzed and outclassed during the bell test? This is just basic shit. He says not in the first fight. He literally gets captured and held hostage. So now getting captured means you're not relative? Where did they decide that at? Now being caught means you're not relative? When did they decide that? Madara got caught by Hashirama's deity gates. Are they not relative anymore? Is that how it works? Sasuke got caught by Danzo's sealing jutsu. Are they not relative anymore? Is that how it works, really? Is that really how it works? Killer Bee got caught in Kisame's Super Shark Dome jutsu. Are they not relative anymore? Doesn't really make sense, does it? Naruto literally blitzes Kakashi back. Let's make sure we're not making a mistake. If he's 50 times stronger than Kakashi, why is Naruto blitzed and outclassed during the bell test? His answer is Naruto literally blitzes Kakashi back. You can't even call that a blitz since it's Naruto's dumbass that gets him captured. Also, sure, I can say they're relative. That doesn't mean that Zabuza is equal to Kakashi. So now we're backpedaling. Now you can say they're relative because you realize the stupidness in your comment. It's hard to keep up with all them lies. And mind you, I have no problems with Trey. I have no problems with him. Maybe aside from how he conducts his maybe aside from his discourse, it's pretty annoying talking to someone like this. Because I know when someone is just saying anything, he's just saying anything. No one actually believes Naruto is stronger than Zabuza in the Land of Waves arc at their first encounter. No one actually believes that. Not because it's hard to believe, because it's not true. It's just not true. There's no reason to believe it. Zabuza clearly outclasses everyone except for Kakashi. And you can make the argument that as a ninja, Zabuza does outclass Kakashi. You can make the argument. So, captured doesn't equal not relative. Kakashi even says he made a tactical error. Nothing about Zabuza outstatting him or being stronger. Naruto doesn't blitz Kakashi at all during the bell test. Kakashi blitzes him twice. You said relative means they can hurt each other. Kakashi and Zabuza can. So he responds with this. We're going to read it, and I say we can end it here. Thank you for this. Mind you, this was 3 hours ago. I had to prepare for this live, number one. Number two, I don't appreciate when people go over the character limit. So it's my discretion to end the conversation when I feel like too much of a burden is on me to respond to all that shit, because I'm not about to screenshot and upload and screenshot and upload. We're not doing that. You're either going to get out your bars in the appropriate character limit, or we can just end it. Honestly, I'd rather just end it at that point, because let's read this first and you guys will see why I wanted to end it anyway. So let's do this. You said relative means they can hurt each other. Kakashi and Zabuza can. Listen to this, guys. He says, yeah, relative means that they can hurt each other. That doesn't mean that they're equally strong. You're basically assuming that Kakashi and Zabuza have the same power level. Can you demonstrate a power level exists in the series? Can you demonstrate that Kakashi and Zabuza aren't on the same power level? Mind you, these are all his ideas. I'm playing crazy with him. I don't believe none of this shit. If I really wanted to, if we really wanted to, guys, where is it at? If we really wanted to, we could have stopped him right here. When I asked him what objectively makes someone stronger in Naruto, and he said, because you scale to your energy and chakra. We could have shut him down right here. I'm playing crazy with him. This is his road. This is his roller coaster. I'm just here for the ride. We could have shut him down right here, though, because the series goes out its way multiple times to show us that chakra amount and chakra potency is hardly ever a factor in performance. So this is just all incorrect. You're basically assuming that Kakashi and Zabuza have the same power level. Thus, Naruto being 50 times Kakashi means he's 50 times Zabuza. But they aren't on the same power level at all. They're relative. So then that begs the question, what in the hell does relative mean? If relative means they can hurt each other, but they're not on the same power level, and they're not equal strength, but they're performing pretty much the same. Like I said, Kakashi can react to Zabuza, Zabuza can react to Kakashi. They both perform hand signs at the same speed. They can both injure each other. Where's the lack of relativity? But they're on the same power level at all. They're relative. Kakashi being captured means that he was overpowered by Zabuza. Really? Is that what it means? Does being captured mean you were overpowered? Is that what that means? Okay. Kakashi being captured means that he was overpowered by Zabuza. Tactical error doesn't make you weaker. So he doesn't understand why Kakashi said it was a tactical error. His first thought is to go to, it doesn't make you weaker. No, it doesn't make you weaker, but it puts you in more vulnerable positions. If it's a tactical error, it makes your position weaker, whether that's in combat, strategy, thinking, or whatever. If it's a tactical error, it means Kakashi is at a disadvantage tactically. So no, weaker has nothing to do with it. Kakashi literally sees him as a threat and shits his pants while fighting this guy. And we're going to act like Zabuza doesn't know Kakashi. We're going to act like Kakashi isn't in Zabuza's bingo book. It goes both ways. Mention both sides if you're going to play that game. He even wanted Cell 7 to run away. Of course he wanted Cell 7 to run away because they're kids basically fighting a fully fledged Jonin like himself. We saw the bell test, right? We saw what Kakashi alone can do to those kids. Zabuza could do it like a lot faster because Zabuza actually kills like this for like... Zabuza actually does this. And he does blitz him back from behind when he came out the water. But again, this is a clear weaker Naruto before training. So he doesn't... So like... Let me say this too. I don't know why, at this point, I don't know why people debate me when they know what I do. I don't know, like, on Twitter, that is. I'm not talking about, like, formal debates or anything. I don't know why people talk to me knowing what I do. It's just very strange to me. For example, if Sage or Noodles or Seth or Swag or whoever had a part on their program where they broke down live discussions with other scalers, I would be on my P's and Q's interacting with them because I might end up on that person's live looking dumb. Now, let's go verify his claim, right? He says, to my claim of Naruto getting blitzed by Kakashi, he says, and he does blitz him back from behind when he came out the water. Okay, let's see that. Cool. Naruto punches. There's a kick. Kakashi ducks. Oh, there's another blitz. This is a blitz. There's another blitz from Kakashi. But apparently Naruto is 50 times stronger in this moment. Naruto gets thrown into the water. He throws some shuriken from the water. Cool. Kakashi catches them. Naruto's clones come out. They're running at Kakashi. Whoa. Ooh. Hold up. Was I wrong? Oh, shit. Damn. I might be wrong. That's crazy. Wait, he did come out the water? I ain't see that. Psych! Uh-oh. It's Naruto. Got him! Who you think you're playing with, bro? Who do you think you're playing with? Listen, if you're going to engage me in a Twitter conversation, you better have the goddamn panels pulled up. You better have the panels pulled up when you're talking to me. Because best believe I have them pulled up when I'm talking to you. He blitzed Kakashi from behind, did he? Really? Or did Kakashi blitz Naruto for a third time during this fight? Looks to me like Kakashi blitzed Naruto. Looks to me like Kakashi blitzed Naruto again. So, you guys could see why I wouldn't want to respond to this. Number one, it's too long. I'm not responding to all this. I'm not obligated to. If you, like I said, if you can't fit it all within the appropriate characters, then what you're saying to me, honestly, doesn't need to be responded to. Number two, typing all of that out and explaining why he's incorrect would have just taken too damn long. He doesn't VC. He doesn't do Discord. He doesn't talk. I'm not obligated to keep responding like a pen pal. It's fun every now and then, but once I've made my point, I can humbly and gracefully move on. We can end it here. Thank you for this. So he says, you can't even count that part because it was Naruto's dumbass that made him get captured by Kakashi, and he does blitz him back from behind when he came out the water. But again, this is a clear weaker Naruto before training. Hold up. A clear weaker Naruto? No. You said that Naruto is 50 times Kakashi. So it really shouldn't matter when this Naruto is taking place. Every version of Naruto, based on chakra, volume, and potency, should be 50 times Kakashi. Your words, not mine. You said Teen Naruto is 100. Kid Naruto is 50. Your words, not mine. He says, But again, this is a clear weaker Naruto before training. We don't know how many times he has more chakra than Kakashi. Only in Shippuden do we see him being 100 times weaker than Kakashi, or being 100 times Kakashi in base. So he'd be max 50 times Kakashi, where he builds up those 50 times in base throughout part 1. Yeah. I would have never responded to that in a message form. It wouldn't make sense to do it. It's so much wrong here. So much, I want to say, either inaccuracies, disingenuousness, or whatever it might be. But the man truly thinks that Naruto is stronger than Kakashi. The man truly thinks that Naruto is stronger than Zabuza, because he already said that. He thinks that people being able to damage each other doesn't make them equal, which in itself, depending on how you talk about, might be true. But if they're relative, we would probably say they're somewhat equal. Relativity implies that they're equal on some level because they can do some of the same things. Some of the same things. So I say we can end it here. Thank you for this. He says, so you're conceding, or are you just going to run to a different audience? That's pretty funny. Well, I'd like to discuss this, but you don't VC, and I don't really like responding over the character limit. Definitely going to cover this on live tonight, though, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So then you're just going to continue the discussion without me even being able to respond. It's pointless at that. Yeah, I'm going to cover everything up until your last response. This wasn't part of tonight's stream, but I think it's important enough to cover. Next time, if you want to keep it going, it's best to respect the character limit. I don't always feel like responding to paragraphs. Facts. No one has time to respond to your paragraphs. All right? No one has time for that at all. Keep it short, sweet, get to the point, right? Learn how to be concise, not verbose. Boy, oh boy. So yeah, that's what we got out of that. Trey thinks that Kid Naruto is stronger than Zabuza. He thinks that Kid Naruto is stronger than Kakashi. He thinks that he thinks that Kakashi and Zabuza aren't relative as well. No, he thinks Kakashi and Zabuza are relative, but he thinks they're not equal. As if that makes sense. Mind you, throughout the whole battle of Naruto versus Zabuza, Kakashi and Zabuza are shown to be high relative. Anyone disputing that can come chat with me. Anyone disputing that can come chat with me. Where is it at? 16, so it has to be around 14. So let's start here. Oh, no, we already missed. Well, no. No, I do want to go back to it. I will go back to it. Yeah. Okay. Zabuza appears in the middle of the Manji formation. Cool. Kakashi sees it. Zabuza swings. Kakashi gets to the Zabuza clone before he's able to actually injure anybody. He stabs the clone. The clone starts bleeding out water. Kakashi kills the clone. Oh, look at this. Zabuza surprise attacks Kakashi. Now, Naruto says master behind you, but Zabuza's already doing his swing. So Kakashi is actually fast enough to make a clone. This is all beforehand, by the way. But he makes a clone and gets behind Zabuza. Cool. Game over. Right? But Zabuza is also fast enough and cunning enough and has enough foresight to make a clone of himself or another clone. Kakashi destroys that clone. Goes for another swing to the back. Kakashi dodges it and is kicked by Zabuza. But as he's kicked, he leaves Makibishi spikes, aka cow traps. Now, he's kicked into the water. Or I should say, Kakashi technically retreats into the water. This water, why is it so heavy? Gullible fool, out of the water prism. Damn. So, according to Trey, this now means that they're not equal. despite both of them going back and forth with clones and ninjutsu and all these other things, they're not equal just because Kakashi got caught in a damn water prison. Kakashi says, I thought I could go underwater and regroup, but it was a tactical error. That prison is inescapable. You're trapped. So how the hell does it make sense to say that because he's trapped, he's no longer relative or as strong as Zabuza? Where do they get these guys from? Where does their logic come from? Who taught them how to scale? Who taught them how to debate? Who taught them how to read? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Kakashi literally says, I thought I could go underwater and regroup, but it was a tactical error. Zabuza's not stronger as far as like superior in stats. He's not superior. He's not faster. His ninjutsu isn't better. No. Kakashi just made a tactical error which caused him to get captured. Literally it. But people go out their way to make shit up. It's very strange. Very strange indeed. Raggedy Reg says, why didn't Naruto just blitz the Demon Bros? He captured Sasuke, who embarrassed them, but instead he stood there shitting his pants. You would think if Naruto was even 2 times stronger than these people, he'd do something. 50 times? If Naruto is 50 times stronger than these people and is based off his chakra quantity and chakra potency, he's seeing shit in slow motion. Naruto is literally Haku to everyone around him if he's 50 times stronger than them. 50 times faster, 50 times more durable, 50 times stronger, AP-wise, lifting strength-wise. It doesn't make any sense, though. Hadn't watched Super in years. I have a criticism of Blitz tier and one-shot tier influence. Like, we can't always guarantee that someone is accomplishing a Blitz via raw stats or if it's just skill. I think blitzes should be somewhat consistent. I think if you can blitz a character multiple times in the same fight, then we can talk about blitzing. But I don't believe first-time blitzes are an actual metric of speed. So many things go on during fights. It's okay to get caught off guard. It's okay to not expect your opponent to be that fast and you lag behind. It's okay, right? For me, it's only when it happens multiple times over the course of a chapter or in the same fight where I'll be like, okay, yeah, he's definitely a blitz tier above this person. But it has to be consistent. Anyways, we're going to skip this fight. Well, no, we won't skip this fight because Naruto is 50 times stronger than Zabuza and Kakashi, who are relative to each other. Right? Gets the shit kicked out of him. Oh yeah, it's 9:30. I gotta be wrapping up. What's good, fellas? NF and NOFs. What's goody? Hold up. Okay, it's maybe because it then tells that he's saying response. Okay, yeah. But anyways, guys, I gotta start wrapping up because I got work tomorrow. That's shotgunning, by the way. He's trying to get you to disengage by overwhelming you with all that bullshit. Yeah. So that's a good point, Luna Ursa, and I didn't even consider that. That's a good point. That is an extremely good point. Yeah. That's absolutely shotgunning. But see, like, this is why in-person conversations are so important, right? Because you can't get this off in person. Because I'm going to stop you. You're not going to be able to say so much before I'm like, oh, hold up. Can you actually, or if I let you go all the way, I'm going to bring you back to the first thing you said. and then you're gonna have to prove everything in that chain. So it's actually more productive if you just prove the chain as you're going along. More productive that way. But all right, y'all, let me get out of here. Like I said, new stream schedule starting. I may or may not be live tomorrow. I have to go live on Spaces though, Twitter Space. Supposed to be talking to Illusionary about some stuff. But all right, you beautiful people, take it easy. W Scream, nice Scream Man, I appreciate that. Make sure y'all like the video, share the video, and yeah. It is 9:26. Let me get out of here for 9:30. Got to take a shower and eat. Was that 2 hours and 26 minutes? Okay, not bad, not bad.